Let me tell you about Exodus 11. Let me explain what it takes to bring a powerful Pharaoh to his knees. We find ourselves today exploring the uncharted waters of Exodus chapter 11, the biblical narrative that paints a vivid picture of God's final potent plague upon Egypt. To fully grasp the gravity of this chapter, we need to delve into the context that led to this climactic moment, a series of divine interventions aimed at liberating the Israelites. Intriguing, isn't it? How an all-powerful Pharaoh succumbed to the power of the divine. In Exodus chapter 11, we delve into the chilling details of the 10th plague. As our journey through this ancient text unfolds, we find ourselves standing on the precipice of an event of unparalleled magnitude. God, in his divine wisdom, reveals to Moses the nature of the final calamity that is to befall Egypt. A plague of such devastating proportions that it will leave no household untouched. Now imagine the scene. Moses, with the weight of this knowledge heavy on his shoulders, approaches Pharaoh, who sits high on his throne draped in the opulence of his kingdom. Moses, the humble servant of God, warns this mighty ruler of the impending disaster, a disaster that will not discriminate between the high and the low, a disaster that will claim the life of every firstborn in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh, in his arrogance and disbelief, dismisses Moses. He refuses to heed the dire prophecy, choosing instead to remain ensnared in the grasp of his stubborn pride. He fails to comprehend the gravity of the situation, the sheer scale of the disaster foretold. In his defiance, he seals the fate of his people. Yet in this tale of impending doom, there's a lesson to be learned. A lesson about the power of faith and the consequences of hubris. Moses, armed with nothing but his faith in God's word, stands up to Pharaoh, the embodiment of earthly power and wealth. And Pharaoh, blinded by his arrogance, fails to see the storm that is about to descend upon his kingdom. This chapter, fraught with tension and foreboding, is a testament to the timeless struggle between faith and arrogance, between humility and pride. It's a tale that resonates even today, reminding us of the consequences of ignoring the warnings of those who see what we refuse to. A dire prophecy, a stubborn king, a nation on the brink of disaster. The stage is set for the climax. As the clock struck midnight, a dreadful silence descended upon Egypt. The stillness was palpable, a harbinger of the calamity that was about to unfold. At the stroke of midnight, the 10th plague, the death of the firstborn, swept through the land like a chilling gust of wind. Every home in Egypt, from the humblest dwelling to the grandest palace, was touched by grief. The wails of mourning echoed through the streets, a haunting symphony of sorrow and loss. The air grew thick with despair as families clung to each other, their hearts heavy with the weight of their loss. In the royal palace, Pharaoh too was not spared. His heart hardened till now, finally shattered under the enormity of his loss. The death of his firstborn son was a blow too cruel, a loss too great. His resistance crumbled, his defiance evaporated. The plague, ruthless and indiscriminate, had dealt its devastating blow. It had brought a mighty kingdom to its knees and made a proud Pharaoh bow his head in submission. Pharaoh, in his grief and desperation, finally conceded. He had no choice but to let the Israelites go. The 10th plague had achieved what 9 others couldn't. It had broken the chains binding the Israelites, setting them on the path to freedom. It was a testament to the relentless will of the divine, a demonstration of power that could not be denied or defied. In the face of unbearable loss, even the mightiest of pharaohs had to bow down. In the end, what does Exodus chapter 11 teach us? It's a tale of faith, obedience, and the omnipotence of the divine. The key points revolve around the 10th plague, the slaying of the firstborn. This event, as harsh as it may seem, was a demonstration of God's power, a power that is absolute and unequivocal. The Israelites' faith and obedience to God's instructions saved them from this calamity. They trusted in His word, and they were spared. It's a poignant reminder that faith, even in the face of adversity, can lead to salvation. These events played a crucial role in the larger Exodus narrative. They prompted Pharaoh to finally release the Israelites from bondage, leading them on their journey to the Promised Land. So what does this chapter teach us? It's a testament to the power of faith, the importance of obedience, and the omnipotence of God. In the grand scheme of things, Exodus chapter 11 is a testament to the power of faith and the divine's ultimate authority.